buckle up, Buttercup, because we've got one hell of a story for you today. Truly, it's the perfect month for this to have happened. In case you're unaware, July is Disability Pride Month, and last night, my fiance, Guy Dog, and I went to a Disability Pride event for Making Space, which is run by the iconic Keely Catwells, who I had on my podcast. So I've never been able to go to one of their Disability Pride events, and finally this year I was in town. I was so excited. I got all dressed up in this cutesy little outfit and trotted my happy ass down to downtown LA to what I now know is pronounced The Broad, which sounds so utterly uppity, okay? It is spelt broad. B-R-O-A-D, The Broad. And so that's how I was pronouncing it. And then I get there and everybody who works there is like, welcome to The Broad. My fiance just told me it's the family name who started The Broad, but it just sounds so artsy-fartsy. It's an art gallery and it just sounds like The Broad. Welcome to The Broad Art Gallery. It just sounds like artsy speak. Anyways, so we go to The Broad, we do a little tour. It's like filled with like probably 100 disabled folk. I know half of them. It feels like a fun little family gathering. So it's this fun little celebration. And originally we had planned to go on a double date afterwards with Cassidy Huff and her boyfriend, Kaz, who I've also had on the podcast. So we were going to do a little fun double date afterwards, and we hadn't like picked a place. We had literally planned it the day before, just like via texting. We were like, yeah, we'll grab dinner afterwards. We never go downtown because nobody does. Like, there's no reason to go downtown LA unless you have a reason to go downtown LA. And same with Cassidy and Kaz. So like, we didn't pre-pick anywhere. We were just like, we'll go to the event after, we'll just find somewhere to eat. That was the extent of our planning. You would think two disabled gals would know at this point that you really do need to plan ahead when you're disabled, but we didn't. We just thought, we'll wing it. Well, at the event, we run into Chrissy Marshall, who is this week's episode of the podcast. So you have that to look forward to on Friday. Now, Chrissy Marshall, in case you don't know, since you might not have been introduced to her yet, since her episode hasn't come out, but I'm hoping and thinking most of you already follow her. Chrissy Marshall is deaf and she uses ASL to communicate. So we run into Chrissy at the event and she is with her interpreter. Well, there's an interpreter there for the event. So we all end up like sitting in like a little circle and we're kikiing, chatting, catching up. And we're like, hey, you should come to dinner with us. And she was like, I would love to. And the interpreter that was there was so nice and was like, they were just there for the event. Like, they weren't Chrissy's personal interpreter, but they were like, you know what, we'll join. Like, we will come so that Chrissy can fully experience it, which was like really sweet of them. And Chrissy was like, I often, miss out and don't get to enjoy like going with friends afterwards because I don't have an interpreter. So it was like, oh my God, this is so fun. So we start to leave. And like just getting out of there was a mission because there's just so many people to say hi to, but we were all so hungry. Like, it was almost 8 p.m. at this point, and I was like, I had lunch at noon, which was a bowl of chicken noodle soup and some cherries, and I had an apple at 4 p.m. Like, I am so hungry. And so my fiance is like leading the pack. I think Elton's following him because usually he does. This is the beginning. So Elton's like trotting off, and then Tiffany Yu, who's also been on the podcast, comes up to me and she's like, Molly, are you waiting for like Cassidy and your fiance and everyone? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, they're all over there. Like, they stopped. And so Elton, meanwhile, is just bringing me to the door. Like, he's just like, we're leaving. We're not waiting. And I think that he's following. That sets the tone. So I'm like, oh, great. So I stop and I like wait for all of them to come find me. And they're like, what happened? And I was like, I don't know. I thought he was following you. He thought he was going to the door. We miscommunicated as a team. So we get outside. We're waiting for Chrissy and the interpreter. And we're trying to figure out what to do. So my fiance was like, you know what? It's probably easiest if we just like leave our car in the Broad parking lot and we just walk to the Grand Central Market, which is a food hall where there'll be like lots of options where anybody can get whatever their vibe is. It's like a very iconic downtown LA institution. And in the back of my head, I'm like, a bunch of disabled gals walking at night in downtown LA? Probably not, but like, I'll trust the non-disabled folk. Famous last words. Don't trust the non-disabled folk. They don't know. So we're kind of like going back and forth on this, and then we're like, well, like, you know what, fine, let's just do it. So we all start walking.
We currently have a deaf person, a blind person, and me, and a wheelchair.
We're going to dinner.
We're all going to dinner, and it's proving to be interesting.
We don't get but a block. where we're all like already getting into like disability pop culture, like we're joking about like the diabetes situation on Love Island, and then there was like an amputee on Love Island who made like a joke about deafness. So we're all like going back and forth about like our thoughts on all these things, right? And then we realize a block into the walk that there is going to be like a giant hill. Now, for full context, Cassidy's in a wheelchair, in case you haven't seen her episode. She's in her wheelchair. She is an ambulatory wheelchair user, so she can get out if needed. She has dwarfism, and so she's in her wheelchair. So we're like, that hill looks dicey. Maybe not. We continue to try to find a new route.
This is like a disability parade that's trying to figure out how to get around downtown LA right now. It's not going very well.
You're right, though, Molly.
It's like trying to get dinner as a disabled person.
Yes.
Right.
There's a wing stop here, guys. Should we just get wings?
Does it? Because we're trapped.
Now, my fiance is the one like leading the pack. And I realize that none of them realize how bad at navigating he is. I let him navigate because I have no other option. He's better than me, you know? Well, I'm better than him in locations that I know, so he lets me lead when I know where we are, and I let him lead when I don't know where we are. I didn't know where we were. So he's leading, and I was like, oh, by the way, everybody, like, if anybody else is good at navigating, maybe, like, you take over. And so Chrissy's like, I'll be vetting, I'll be double checking. So everybody's trotting. He's leading the pack, so he's, like, kind of at the front navigating. Kaz is helping Cassidy. The interpreters are interpreting for Chrissy. I, the blind one, am in the back. I'm at the very back. And I kept like feeling a little uncomfy with this because I was like, I can't keep eyes on the pack. I need the pack to keep eyes on me. And whilst I trust Elton to follow, generally, we already had one issue tonight where Elton did his own thing and did not follow. So I kept feeling like awfully uncomfy because it's like now sundown. It is dusk. It is getting dark out. I can't see a single damn thing. Downtown LA is truly not the safest. Like, that is one of many reasons we don't venture to downtown. It is not the safest part of LA. And I'm, you know, in a cutesy outfit, which has multiple expensive elements. Like, I have my Chanel sunnies with me, and I was like, I am a target. Like, I am looking like somebody you should approach. So I was like, I'm not comfy in the back of this pack, but I feel like everybody's like doing their own little bubble thing. Like one of the interpreters walking backwards to sign for Chrissy, and as I said, like Kaz is helping Cassidy, and I'm like, I keep being well aware that I'm at the back and that nobody can see that I'm lagging behind. But I was like, it's fine, Molly. It's fine. You'll be fine. So then we get to the next block where we think we'll be able to turn to get to the market, and we realize it's actually an even bigger hill. Not great. So then my fiance realizes there's Angel's Flight Railway, which would take us in a tram down the hill. So we're all like, fabulous. I would like everybody to keep in mind that this is like a 2-block walk total, like 2.5 blocks. From where we started to where we're trying to get to. We're already like 10 minutes into what should have been a 5-minute walk. LA blocks are long. And so we get to where the tram is supposed to depart from, and we're like, there's an elevator to get up. We get to the elevator. It's not working. Classic inaccessibility. So then Cassidy's like, it's fine. I can walk up the stairs, and Kaz can carry my wheelchair. It's fine. We have to deal with this all the time. So we're like, no worries. I ask Elton to guide me to the stairs. We get to the top. Then we start trying to figure out where the tram takes off from. We get to the next section. There's a ramp. It's roped off. And the ramp says that it's like restricted. The ramp is restricted. And we're like, why the hell is a ramp restricted? So now there's only more stairs. We continue to gallivant. We are truly the disability trifecta right now, okay? We've got blind with guide dog. We've got deaf with interpreter. We've got wheelchair user. We're doing it all. We are gallivanting through. It is slowly getting darker. We find another elevator. Hurrah, celebration! We're so excited. It's broken. Not working. No worries. We'll pivot. We'll find a new path. We go around the next corner. There's another elevator. Fabulous. Would you think it would be working, the third elevator in this area? You'd think. It's not.
Oh, no, it was working. It only went down.
Oh, great. Okay. My misunderstanding, because I can't see what's happening. And everybody else is like trying to sort it out. And I'm just like standing there with Elton, like along for the ride, you know? And so the elevator only goes down this time. And we need to go up. We find another ramp, blocked off, restricted. My fiance's like, I'm going to go into the wing stop and ask them how the hell we get up there. So he goes, And they're like, oh yeah, there's a staircase. And we're like, fabulous. We've already made it this far. We'll do the stairs again. Elton guides me over to the stairs. Kaz carries the wheelchair. We're doing it. We're fine. We get to the top. We then realize, oh my God, I hope the tram is still running. You would think we would have checked the time. We didn't. We go around the corner. We find where the tram boards. Good news, it's still running. But then we see the sign and it says, no dogs under any circumstance. We know they're wrong. It said something like that. Like, no dogs allowed. Absolutely no dogs allowed. It was like very finite, very absolute.
And then it says dogs absolutely prohibited.
Oh my
That's
God.
what it says.
We-
It says dogs
we
absolutely
are going
prohibited.
to.
Oh my gosh, shut up. Wait, where?
It's over there.
Oh my god. It does. It does. No.
We're all being discriminated against today.
What is happening?
But we were like, no worries. We've got 3 disability advocates here. If they put up a fight, best believe we'll put up a fight back. It's fine. And then there's also a sign that says like, only like 1 wheelchair allowed or something. We were like, wow, this is really fascinating stuff. My fiance, again, he's leading the pack. He's the one that goes and starts chatting with the ticket lady. So at this point, he yells over to our little gaggle and he's like, we just want one way, right? Because we had already decided it has been such a trek to get us to dinner that we don't need to redo this trek back. The boys will be chivalrous and they will trot back and they will pick the cars up, swing by, and pick the disabled gals up in the cars. So we're like, no, we don't need a return. You guys are going to pick us up. So we get one ways. We managed to figure out how to get on the car. When they see Cassidy in the wheelchair, they're like, oh, this is actually not the tram that's wheelchair accessible. And they're like, it's fine, she's ambulatory, like she can get out again and we'll carry it on. So my fiance is trying to guide me on to the tram because it's like this rickety old thing with like these steps going down. I'm confused. I've never been on anything like this. I've been on many a tram, never like this. I'm confused. So he's trying to guide me on. Kaz is dealing with the wheelchair. The interpreters are interpreting. We all get on. We settle. Elton's like sitting his little fluffy butt down on the step. He's smiling, just happy along for the ride. Truly, this dog unfazed by a single damn thing that's going on tonight. He's killing it, absolutely crushing it. Thank God for him, because again, my fiance is caught up with leading the pack. He's not leading me. Elton's taking over, doing the damn thing. Fabulous. We sit down. We're just glad we've all made it this far. We know we're in the home stretch. We're almost there. This has already taken like 30 minutes.
Oh.
Oh, Molly, just so you know, there's another train. There's another car passing us the other way.
This is a horror film. Oh.
The car starts. It is way more intense than I thought it was going to be. It's like so loud and screechy. We're all like, whoa, this is quite the experience. We get safely to the bottom. The doors open. We were the first to get on, meaning my fiance, Elton, and I are the first to get off. My fiance gets off. He realizes directly where the bottom of the stairs are to get out of the tram, right where we would step, is a very shattered glass bottle. It's just smashed everywhere. He starts trying to clear the glass with his foot, at which point I can hear how much broken glass there was. It was not a little bit, it was a lot. And I was like, oh, I don't think even if you like kick it all, I feel safe with Elton stepping out. Cause like even a teeny bit of shard glass getting in his pawpaw, like we're screwed. New game plan. So my fiance scoops him, carries him over the glass, again, so chivalrous, gets him over the glass, but then has to carry him through the turnstile. I am then alone. Some blind people are smart, and even when they have their guide dog, they bring their cane for emergencies. I'm not that gal. So I'm like going it alone. The sighted folk behind me are trying to audio describe what's in front of me. My fiance is trying to be like, I'm over here. Come towards my voice. I have my hand out. And so I'm like holding the railing. I'm doing the steps. I get to the bottom. I grab my fiance's hand. He guides me through the turnstile. Kaz, getting the wheelchair, which he had to take a wheel off. So he's putting the wheelchair back together. He's getting Cassidy down. We're getting the wheelchair set up. Then Chrissy, holding up the back with the interpreter, comes off. We're like, okay, all we have to do is cross one busy street. And we've made it to food. We are ravenous at this point, and it is 8:45. Keep in mind, we started this whole adventure 2.5 blocks, around 8. It's been like at least 45 minutes. Probably 7:45 that we started trying to game plan it, 8 that we started the walk, 8:45 that we arrive. We realize upon getting to the corner, crossing the street to the other side, that it closes in 15 minutes. The food hall closes in 15 minutes. We walk up 3 steps, Kaz and Cassidy find the ramp, we all get in. All of the food things at the front of the food hall where we enter are all already closed, even though it closes in 15 minutes. We race to the back. Thankfully, things are still open. There's options. I am having complete overload. When I get like overloaded and sensory overload, I like shut down. I'm starting to like mentally fatigue because I've been hungry for a few hours now, and that was such a trek to get through that I am like really overloaded. So my fiance, bless him, is like trying to help me figure out the options. I was like, I don't know. I was just feeling very overwhelmed. Finally, I pick something. We sit down. We have about 10 minutes to consume our food before a security guard comes and he's like, it's closed, everybody has to get out. So we thankfully quickly like chow down while we're having a little disability kiki talking about like discrimination and all of the things. Whilst that's happening, I realize that the interpreter's voice has changed from male to female. And I was like, well, that's odd. And then I think in my brain, when my fiance told the ticket person for the tram how many people we had, he said 7, when there was only 6 of us. Me, my fiance, Cassidy, Kaz, Chrissy, the interpreter. That's 6. I think we have Elton. That's 7. He miscounted. I don't know. Whatever. I didn't question it when that happened. Now, when I'm hearing a female voice, I'm starting to question it. I'm like, the interpreter's been male this whole time. I'm confused. Somehow, I still was like, not really thinking. I was just like, put that in the back, store that for later. Didn't think much of it. A little confused, but I'm deep in my disability girlhood, okay? We're all like on our discrimination rants because all 3 of us are service dog users. And so like we were talking about like service dog discriminations with Ubers and taxis and blah, blah. And so like I'm kind of just like in the moment with my people. It's 10 minutes. It's closed. We've eaten. We rush out. We have to find the only singular door that is still open to get in and out, which is not the door we came in. We find it. It leads to the parking lot. Which, by the way, the only reason we had chosen not to just drive our own cars and park in the parking lot for the market is because we saw that the parking lot closed at 9. And we were like, well, we might want to stay and eat past then and like chat. You think that would have been like a red flag in our mind that the market also closed at the same time the parking lot did? It didn't. Let this be a reminder to everybody. Check what time the venue closes, not just the parking. If we knew it closed at 9, we would have just driven. So now we're in the parking lot and we're trying to game plan, what are we going to do to get the cars back to us? They start deciding that like the boys are going to go get the cars. The interpreters, plural, ding ding, this is finally when I clue in that there was 2 interpreters. Can I just say, I have spent much time with interpreters over the years. I very much understand that an interpreter's job is to remain silent and not involve themselves in the conversation. They are simply there to interpret for the deaf person. They are not there to also be involved in the conversation exclusively unless they are like a friend or partner of the deaf person they are interpreting for and also a part of the group. But if they are only there as an interpreter, they don't speak outside of when they're interpreting. But please, this has happened to me multiple times recently now, that I don't know interpreters in the room, or I don't know that there's multiple interpreters. And it is like really confusing for me when that happens, and honestly like a little bit uncomfortable and jarring. If you are an interpreter and you are interpreting for somebody and you're aware there's a blind person in the group or around, please just let them know, like, by the way, there's 2 interpreters, or by the way, we're both interpreting, or by the way, hi, interpreter has also entered the room or entered the conversation. I'm interpreting for Chrissy. I'm interpreting for whoever. Like, let us know, because do you know how jarring it is to have spent over an hour with a group, like an hour and a half at this point with a group, and have no idea there is 2 interpreters and not just 1? It was very jarring. So, little blind girl moment. We all have a good laugh about that. We go back to trying to game plan how we're going to get the cars. And I was like, can I just like state that like the idea that the interpreters both leave and the 2 boys leave, and now the only people left after 9 p.m. at night, fully sundown, it is dark out, in a parking garage that's empty in downtown LA is a blind girl, a deaf girl, and a girl in a wheelchair. Like, I don't feel safe with that, personally. Sorry, I want to be all empowered disabled gals, but like I do not feel safe. Maybe if it wasn't downtown LA, maybe if it wasn't an empty parking garage, maybe if it wasn't late at night. Sure, there's lots of variables that could have changed that I would have felt safe with that. I've hung out with my disabled friends in the daytime in a quaint little coffee shop. But that specific scenario, I was like, I don't feel good about this. I do not feel good about this. So they were all like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. That's not a good plan. We start trying to figure out, is there a car that could take all of us? 7 people, a giant service dog, and a wheelchair? Probably not. So after much discussion, we decide Chrissy and the interpreters will go and walk back to their cars. We, the 4 of us, and Elton will get a large, extra large, double XL Uber, and we will Uber back to the parking lot. We're trying to game plan it where like no one person walks alone, like safety in numbers. And so that's the plan. Now we call the Uber, we have to trek around the block to find the Uber. I am again walking like kind of on my own. Kaz and Cassidy are walking together. Chrissy and the interpreters are walking together. My fiance is leading the pack to try to find the Uber. And I'm just with Elton on my own. And I'm like, I yell out my fiance's name because I was getting really anxious. I do not like feeling like I am alone at night in an unknown environment. I am smelling urine. It's not nice. I was like, I don't like this. And he's like, yeah, I'm fine. It's I'm here. It's fine. And I was like, I don't know where anybody is. I'm feeling anxious. Please, if you're also blind and you've been in that situation, tell me I'm not alone. It feels very anxiety inducing when you're you don't know where everybody else is and people are a bit scattered. We weren't clumped in a group. We were a little scattered. And so we get to the car and I'm like, please God, don't deny us. Because we didn't order an Uber Pet, we ordered a double XL. Not that I should have to order an Uber Pet, but the only way to not get denied guaranteed is to order an Uber Pet. So I'm just praying to God we don't get denied because at this point, that's the last thing we need to deal with. Thankfully, the driver was lovely. We figured out, Cassidy was like, okay, I think you get in first with Elton. Then Kaz puts my wheelchair in the trunk. We load in, we all figure it out, we get back to our cars. The night is over, all is well. Needless to say, a reality TV crew should have been following that. We got in the car and the Ubers had 2-minute drive. 2-minute drive. What took us 45 minutes was a 2-minute drive. And I feel if this doesn't perfectly outline just trying to complete a daily task as a disabled person, I don't know what does. That was the most disability prideful experience of my life. We were all just along for the journey. Everybody was such a trooper. All of us were just we'll figure it out. Every single roadblock that one or multiple of us faced, we were no worries, we'll just figure it out. We just all kept being not a big deal. And you know what? When you hang out with all disabled people and people who love disabled people or are involved in the disability community, you're all just so ready to brainstorm and not make anybody feel bad. Even if an issue wasn't my access need and it was somebody else in the groups, it's I understand what it's like to be the person who faces the access need. So I'm not going to make you feel bad. I'm just going to be we're going to figure it out, girl. But it was just one of those experiences where I was yeah, we probably should have all just 2-minute Ubered it. We should not have tried to trek it. Lesson learned. Next time, let's just book a sit-down restaurant, make reservations, and Uber there. Would have been much easier, but you know what? Wouldn't have made for half a good story and experience. And I just love having disabled friends and going through these experiences with other people. And I think every time our non-disabled counterparts see these experiences, it's also a learning lesson and a moment for them to continue to develop more understanding and more empathy. And every single person involved was such a trooper, and we just made a big joke out of it. All of us were just making jokes the whole time and having a fun time with it. And you know what? We still got to eat, even if it was only shoving food down our throats for 10 minutes quickly. We still got to eat, and we still got to hang out with our friends and have a good night and make a memory that I will definitely have forever. But truly, we need a reality show following the crazy lives and adventures of the disability content creator scene of LA. Because if you follow a disabled content creator who lives in LA, 80% to 90% of us are all friends, and we all hang out, and stuff like this happens pretty much every time, and it's always so funny. And the conversations we have amongst us over drinks at 2 a.m., it's always interesting. So truly, a camera crew should be a fly on the wall for that. If you want to see that, give this a thumbs up. Let us know, and please share your most crazy, fun disability adventure with your disabled friends, because I absolutely know you've had them. This was not my first. I am certain it will not be my last. But until next time, If you want to see Keely's podcast episode, you can click over here. If you want to see Cassidy's podcast episode, you can click over here. And make sure that you are following along, subscribed, and you have those notifications turned on to see Chrissy's podcast episode coming up this Friday. All right, see you guys next time.